Okay, welcome back to UKSM 17. We're about to go for a Super Mario World run by XanderWebb479. Originally, it was going to be a race alongside Quite Super Mario, but he can't be here today. Sometimes you can't expect stuff like that, but it's completely fine because Xander is completely fine with doing it as a solo run. So, we're going to be getting that started any moment now.
Right, we're in. Okay, microphones are working. Whoops, slight mix up there.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Oh crap. It's fine, it's fine.
That's fine?
Yeah, it's like half a second or something. I started on the play one screen, so whatever. Anyway, so you'll first of all see that I'm playing on the Japanese version, and that saves about 20.8 seconds over the American version of the game. And that's because switch palaces fade out about 3 seconds faster, and text boxes, well, Japanese text takes up less space to say the same thing, so the text boxes are smaller and they'll fade out and in faster because of that. World 1 is pretty simple, it's just hold right and jump.
So if Xander plays this quickly enough, he can get a 361 by jumping off this, letting go and re-holding right. You got it, you got the 361.
Okay, so 361 there is actually frame perfect. Mario's speed oscillates when you're holding right, and if you jump and let go of it, it can lock it at a certain value, and that value, if it's the top one, it'll get you a 361. And
Top
it means
value being 51.
that's if
speed.
you're flying. 49 is for P speed.
Oh yeah, so it is.
Yeah, it makes literally no difference unless you do a shell jump in the next stage, which I'm not going to be doing, because it's hard and I'm bad at it.
Shell jump has a 1 to 3 frame left right before you actually initiate shell jump. It's very difficult.
I was running on those wooden platforms for as long as possible there, and they push you right, and you can save up to 3 frames per platform, and that's how you get the 259 in the game time instead of 258. And you'll notice that I am skipping these midways, and that's on purpose. It's because the first jump in Iggy's castle is much easier small, and it's actually a bit faster because you get to make some tighter jumps, but I do get the midway in the next level. You can save about a fifth of a second with the shell jump. I stomped on the shell instead, because it saves a bit of lag, because you're getting rid of it. Less sprites on the screen.
So now into the first castle of the game, and Xander will be doing some pretty tight jumps. He wants to try and get a 281 door before the fight, so he's just trying to get on and off the fence as quickly as possible. So it looks like he might get. He got the 281.
You can actually get a 282 there, but it's really hard. There's also 2 faster strats that I would definitely not call marathon safe. Going under the Podobo and doing a blind frame perfect trick P switch jump.
Can we talk about the fire moves?
Did I enter the red door late? I should have a 241 there, but whatever. World 1's always the same, pretty much. There's only a few categories that it's any different.
So what route are you doing, Xander?
Yeah, that's a good point. There's 3 main routes that people do in this game. One of them is an older route. It goes to Green Switch Palace early, and that has the benefit of having capes early. The green blocks give you capes, and when you're flying, you move at a faster speed than running. And so anywhere that I can be flying, I will be. I'll be doing early wings, which is just the route that I'm familiar with. It gets to Vinaldome early for resets, because that's a pretty difficult world. And then one that's more recent is early Donut Secret House. And if Agatha can explain the benefits of that.
So early Donut Secret House will give you more consistent boo rings in the secret house. If you go through any other route, you may not get consistent boo rings. It saves a little bit of time. There's no real difference between Vanilla Dome, early Vanilla Dome, and Donut Secret route, because they both meet up about 35 minutes into the run.
Yeah, the all three routes are exactly the same in terms of overall time. And yeah, so boo rings, when one despawns, its position is saved in memory, and when the next boo ring spawns, even if it's in a completely different level, it'll spawn in the same position that the last one despawned in, and that's why early Donut Secret House is useful. But I'm just used to this route. It has no benefit. Honestly, in a no reset situation like this, early Donut Secret House would be better, but I'm just more comfortable with this route. It's the one I do in RTAs, so that's what I'm doing.
Nice. 250.
I think it's worth noting, Mario swims faster when he has an item in his hand because physics. So it's worth going into that dry room. It only saves a second to get that shell, and in no cape categories it's not worth going in there at all. It'd lose time. And that's the thing, there are categories that have no that don't use cape at all, and that basically transforms the game into something completely different. Yeah, running into doors. I've done doors pretty well this run so far.
I was about to say.
Running into a door with full speed and getting into that door is a 3-frame trick. So, you know, doors are the final boss of this game. Yeah,
So there's not really much to say in early game because it's pretty much... Xander missed a trick there where you can get early P speed and get flight right at the beginning of the level. But he's now doing the backup strat. Not sure if he has fast fly. When you're flying, if you tap right, you can get 51 flight, which is fastest flight speed in the game.
Yeah, so when you're flying, as I said, when you hold right, your speed oscillates, and when you're flying, it can oscillate between 5 different values, and you just tap left to fly. And if you're flying at a bad locked speed, then you can tap right to change that. And even though when we're saying these numbers like 51 flight speed is the fastest, that's in subpixels per frame. But over the course of a whole level, it can make up a couple seconds. So
here, Xander will be getting hold of a Yoshi and taking that through to Vanilla Dome because he needs Yoshi for Vanilla Dome 1 wings, and that takes 30 to 40 seconds.
It's actually about 45 to 50 seconds that it can save optimally. I'm not doing the optimal strats for it, but I can still save a good portion of a minute with the trick. So yeah, wings, Yoshi wings, there's a couple places in the game naturally, but you can glitch them into the game, and they end the level instantly, so obviously that's faster.
I think we'll talk more about that when we get to VD1.
Yeah, that's in the next level.
Yeah.
This is the first level where you really have an interesting use of the cape. You have to go left and right like this to conserve your P meter. It's not as easy as it looks.
But it is swag.
Oh my god.
He missed Morton Fly, so he's got to grab the spring at the right moment to fly up through that gap, and he'll just fly right to the top.
Yeah, I believe that's 3 frames as well. Oh my god, no. Okay, that's like 16 seconds now because I missed 2 cycles. That's bad.
It's nerves, dude. Don't worry, you got this run. Yes, there we go. At least you didn't miss this cycle.
I'm switching to Fire here because instead of stomping on Morton 3 times, you can just shoot 2 fireballs and stomp on him. So yeah, this is a decent run so far. Wasn't great that I missed Morton Fly, but no big deal. I keep on wanting to split.
You've trained yourself. It's just now muscle memory for splitting.
Saying that, I always split in places that I shouldn't anyway, so...
like in the Boo fight.
Okay, yeah, so if you throw a shell up on the right frame, you can duplicate blocks. Normally that's a 1-frame trick, but if you're floating down with cape, it's 2 frames. And if you duplicate a block over the bottom half of a dragon coin and then collect the top half, it creates a glitched block that has something different in it depending on its X position in the level. This one will have a key in it, and if you duplicate any key block to the right... Oh crap. If you duplicate any key block to the right, you get Yoshi wings, and that's what I should be doing now.
So Xander will rotate some of these blocks to prevent... Alright, he's done the wings trick, but he's missed the wings.
Oh my god, get them!
There we go. So Xander cape spun some of the rotatable blocks because that stops other blocks spinning, because I think the game can only handle 4 sprites spinning.
So yeah, Yoshi's actually pretty broken. Most of the glitches in this game are involving Yoshi. And when you mount him, he warps to your X position, you warp to his Y position, and hopefully... Oh crap.
He's dropped Yoshi.
That was not great. If the corner of that is in a wall, then you can clip inside that wall. That would have saved about 15 seconds there, but it's no big deal, because you can go around this way.
So now you're just basically playing casual.
You'll see it later.
When we get to FY2, that
So-
trick saves... You go through twice, so each one is 10 seconds. Each clip saves 10 seconds, with an overall save of 20.
I think that's with IL strats. It's more likely to save around 20 seconds each clip. In Forest of Illusion 2, that's like way later in the run. So yeah, it's definitely worth going for it.
No yump, run is dead.
Hey, I have 3 more chances.
The first jump is the only one that counts.
So we call a jump a frame perfect jump off that switch there. It saves no time, it's pure swag, and well, runs aren't valid if you don't at least get 1 jump, right?
No, runs aren't valid until you get 4 jumps.
Again, Mario swims faster with an item in his hand.
How much faster does he actually spin? It's some double speed, but
It's
your normal
pretty
swimming
much
speed,
double his speed, yeah.
But your normal swimming speed is like 16, and with an item it's only 32, so it's still pretty slow.
I could have spun that guy with my shell to wake him up, but I
Didn't.
screwed out. There's a glitch here that you can get. It doesn't actually really save time, but sticky fly.
It actually costs a little bit of time, I heard.
Yeah, you can get fast flight earlier by not going for sticky fly, and that'll save like frames, but come on. You can stick to the ceiling there.
In my opinion, the next thing Xander's going to do is a completely pointless thing. I don't go for it in runs, but he does.
So getting flight between those 2 Aries there is 2 frames. It's a 2-frame trick. And everyone calls me stupid for going for it in every run, but I mean, I just got it in a marathon, it's easy.
Until you mess up a PB pace run because you lose your cape early.
It saves like a couple
No
of
time.
frames.
It saves no time.
And you can fly with an item. More glitches.
It's well known that SMW is a very broken game.
Oh yeah. So in the next level, there are you have options with the strats you do. I'm going to be doing the baby strats because there's a strat called blog skip, which would save about 2 seconds, which isn't worth going for in a marathon. And there's a strat called raft skip, which saves about 7 seconds. Oh.
You did not set that up correctly.
It saves about 7 seconds, but that's really hard. I'm going back for cape. I'm going to mess up my boo rings, but whatever.
So Xander was trying to maintain P speed so that when he gets back on the raft, he just runs to the right. You're not going to get caped when you get the power up, dude.
How about if I get that?
The student has become the teacher.
I mean, I was going to get it up here.
Yeah. That's right, if he gets it right next time, you'll see what he meant to do.
I shouldn't have been talking then, to be honest.
No. You should let me do the commentary, that's why I'm here. But you seem to have taken over. So Xander needs to run up against this pipe to maintain, basically sticking to that slope. If you don't run against the pipe, you don't stick to the slope. I don't know why. Once he maintains P-speed, he can run down that slope, jump onto the raft, spin to maintain his P-speed, and then do his spin fly across. I'm going to call it cherry soda because it's not lava. Yeah, so that saves what?
Oh, come on.
Oh, Xander, please. It saves some time, I can't remember exact time. Now he's going to go for raft skip here.
Yeah, right.
No, raft skip. What are you doing again? I forgot this one. What they call this one.
This is what we call baby straps. It's basically the slowest you can go without going full casual.
But it's the safest way to go.
For sure.
Or no, riding a raft is the safest way to go.
I just got,
And you got Yoshi Fly.
did a glitch called Yoshi Fly at the end there. You can basically fly as if you were just cape pumping with Mario.
You have to dismount Yoshi against the ceiling and remount to get flight.
Yeah, so you can get his flight speed instead of P-meter, which is slightly faster.
This is another flyover level, but you've got to get your jumps right. Running on the platforms is not optimal.
What?
You said that to me in one of my runs. You had a go at me for running on the platforms. So Xander missed tile fly, jumping off that question mark block. But it seems to... I spoke too soon.
This is not
Suboptimal. I'm surprised that Xander has made these mistakes because he has a very good PB
Okay, so
and
this
is really consistent at VD4.
this level is actually free, but I screw it up all the time.
It is not...
it's another hold, right, and jump.
But in this level, if you spin at the start, you can keep Magic Cooper behind you. And that's really helpful because Magic Cooper is literally Satan in this game. I hate him, and he's made me cry in many runs, but he hasn't hurt Xander yet.
Yeah, if you just run right at the start of that level, Magic Cooper will always spawn in front of your face and you'll just run into him. And this level in a speedrun isn't much different to playing it casually. Well, this room at least.
Yeah.
We can do a cycle skip, but that's about it. And that will be coming up in a second.
So this is a cycle skip here.
So you don't have to wait for that to come back up.
So Xander's going to try and despawn one of the bones, and then ground pound to get rid of those ones.
You can see Lemmy's feet flash briefly just before he appears, and that way you'll know what pipe he's in. I don't look at that because sometimes if I see that, I go to it too soon and his hitbox activates while I'm inside him.
Phrasing.
Ah.
Keep
Why am I
mashing.
mashing already?
Just keep mashing. You're going to forget to mash, and then you're going to...
So you can basically wait until the music stops here, but I mash as soon as I finish the level because I get paranoid. I'm mashing already.
Are you going
Okay.
to look at the screen in the next level?
So the next level is one of the hardest levels in the game, and so I need to concentrate for this.
Just close your eyes, you can do it.
So how's everyone doing? Everyone alright? You doing alright?
Yeah, I'm fine. How are you?
Okay.
How's the
I'm
drive
good.
down here?
Oh,
Yeah.
nah. Don't do that.
Oh look, it's done. Just don't fall off Yoshi.
Okay, so that wasn't actually even found by speedrunners. That was in one of the magazines that was out back in the day, and you know, just have Yoshi hold right and jump. So this category does get a lot of slack for just flying over everything.
Cape is
and
overpowered.
while that's
True. Oh, he clipped the block and lost his flight. This was going to cost Xander some time.
Flying everything isn't always as trivial as it sounds.
In this level it is,
because
though.
you need to. Oh yeah, this level's free. Again, I'm just screwing up everything that's easy, aren't I?
I'm trying not to stick the knife in too much, but you make it too easy.
But yeah.
Remember what I said, if you screw up this run badly, kittens will die.
When you're flying over level, managing your flight speed isn't as easy as it is yet. As easy as it seems. You have to like see how jittery the screen is, and adjust based on that.
So are you dive bombing or are you gliding?
Oh no, I'm not dive bombing. That's stupid.
Dive bomb's swag though.
It's also slower if you have fast flight.
You sure?
So flying over this level for the secret exit is actually not trivial.
So the visual cue is this dragon coin. Just drop down. Xander, no.
I missed a K-pump there.
There we go. There we go. Yes. Round of applause for Xander for that. That was swag. That was a good save.
My visual cue is different on my CRT because it's much smaller.
No, you know what the visual cue is. It's a dragon coin.
Yeah, but it. You
No,
know.
dude. Screen size doesn't matter. You know this. The visual cue is the visual cue because it's consistent. If it changes based on screen size, then you might have an argument.
There's different cutoff.
No.
So this level we're not going to fly over because you can't fly in water. Just a little fact there for you.
Technically, it's flying in water.
Is
I'm
it?
joking. No, sorry.
And yeah, most water levels, the actual death plane is like a block or two beneath the level, so you can just swim under it to avoid all of this stuff.
It's a little bit quicker to swim over it because if you bonk, it slows you down a little bit. So if Mario hits his head on the platforms that Xander's swimming under, he loses a tiny bit of time.
I did a couple left rights to manipulate a few of the torpedo TEDs to go left instead of right. It just makes my life a lot easier. And don't fall in this hole. Brams. I mean, what?
And now we're into Star World. And Xander's gonna... Which is the first reaction anyone has when they're playing Star World. Xander's now going into the hardest level in the game.
Not gonna lie, this exit can be impossible sometimes.
Yeah, because there's a 1 in 512 chance that gold tape despawns.
The gold tape can despawn because if Lakitu throws a spiny into the baby Yoshi's mouth and the gold tape spawns around that time, Baby Yoshi just eats the gold tape because it overwrites the spiny. Oh.
Xander, please.
I was about to say that's the first time I've got that level right in ages.
You're jinxing yourself.
Yeah.
This is actually quite a difficult level. Xander's going to fly under the level, miss a cape pump and you're going to die.
Also get hit, you're gonna die.
Yeah, you're not going to get hit though, are you?
I hope not.
You're not that crazy. There we go. Kind of safe.
So yeah, this we fly under this level so that people can't say we fly over everything. You can get your faster flight speed earlier by doing a smaller tap, so it can save like frames if you fly under instead of over. Technically I could fly under Star World 5 as well, but that's dumb.
No. So now we're going for secret exit.
Yeah, so some of these levels have a red dot, and that means that there's a secret exit in the game. Usually that's a key. In Cheesebridge area it was a second gold tape.
Another level that has a second gold tape is Chocolate Island 3, which we won't get to until nearer the end of the run. You might want to grab the key, dude.
So, when you knock something out of a block, including keys and power-ups and stuff like that, it has it takes some frames before it actually can interact with anything. So you can just if you go too quickly, you can just completely miss it.
That is true. It's about 35 frames, is it, before something's active?
It's around half a second.
Yeah, it's about half a second. I think this is the first time I've seen you fly over that without landing on the top, so... That's the first time I've seen you do that. I know you've done it before. I don't watch Xander that much because, you know, he's better than me and I was a little bit jealous.
So, yeah, as I was saying, some of them have secret levels, have 2 ways to complete it, and that's what this category is, 96 exit. There's something like 73 levels in this game, and the ones that have secret exits, you do both exits, and that's all
Fun fact, the actual cart when you buy the game says 96 exits, 96 levels even on it, and that annoyed me because that's false advertising.
So, oh god.
There is no god here, just Mario.
You can zip through there like that, and it's hard, and I'm bad at it.
So he should have been done by now.
Just don't watch during this level, please.
So I think optimal is 264.
I don't know.
It's more than this.
I'm bad. Okay.
No, problem with the zips here as well is if you zip too quick, you fall below the level and it kills you. So going slow is sensible.
Yeah, and that works because, as Agathor said earlier, the game can only have 4 turn blocks spinning at once, and so spinning arcade, we make more spin. The ones that Mario is in become solid, and it pushes him down and to the left. Okay, so that was actually decent.
Actually, that's perfect.
You can get a 291 there. I think you can get a 292, but that's like frame perfect or something. So 89 is actually pretty decent.
You're gonna play us some music.
Hell yeah.
So Xander's going for secret exit first, because that pushes him back up and it just goes back in. It's basically just reversing his overworld time. It's just an optimal overworld time. An optimal English, I cannot speak it today.
Getting the secret exit there first actually works as well because you want to feed Yoshi at the end, and if you were to get the normal
exit.
Oh wait, no, you could feed him at the end anyway, but it would be slower to feed him getting the secret exit.
Also, it just saves you a little bit of overworld time, having to go back and forth. The 96 exits overworld times have been optimised, so there's no point deviating. So here Xander's going to feed Yoshi and Yoshi's going to grow up to be a big boy. There we go.
So the different colour Yoshis actually do different things. Green Yoshi is just normal, he'll do what the shell tells him to. Blue Yoshi, if he has a shell in his mouth, he'll get wings. Yellow Yoshi stomps when you land, and Red Yoshi just spits out fire. Having that colour shell also does the same thing, so having a red Yoshi and a blue shell would give him wings.
Just like Red Bull.
And then he'd spit out fire. But
You've got a donation for whenever you've got a free moment.
yeah, that's fine.
So we've got a donation from Chab. He says, "Hey, long-time watcher, first-time donator. This amazing run by XanderWebb479 really inspires me to start my own attempts in this game. That just looks extremely fun. Keep up with the good work and kill the animals." I'd just like to, while I've got the mic, remind people that Quite Super Mario isn't here. We don't just not have a signal. He unfortunately had to drop out at the last moment, and there was nothing we could really do about that, so please do forgive us and him for that slight mishap on the stream.
Oh, come on.
Remember, you can donate by the links below. We're donating to Médecins Sans Frontières, so yeah, please donate, and back to the couch.
So Xander is basically doing VD1 wings, but in a level called Gnarly. So he's going to dupe these spin blocks into the Dragon Coin, and basically set up an invisible block to get wings, and that sends Yoshi to Yoshi Heaven.
That was really slow because I kept on missing the dupes.
I didn't want to stick the knife in again.
You can do it in this level, it's slightly different. There's a P balloon, and you can duplicate that to the left to get Yoshi rings.
This is actually a difficult strat to get. So he's got to...
Oh.
You now have to go normal.
Yeah, so I hit the thing there. Ideally I wouldn't have hit that. And I would have
It would have generated
got
wings and it would have saved you 10 seconds,
yeah.
something like that.
But whatever.
I actually memorised these and I'm still forgetting them.
I only recently put that into runs, but whatever, it's no big deal.
So this is a special stage, and these are the hardest levels in the game, and they really do separate the men from the boys, as it were. Casual, these are difficult, but with speed strats, they're actually not that bad with practice, except Mondo. I hate Mondo, and I'll always hate Mondo.
Mondo's awful.
Mondo is the worst level in the game after BB1. We are not going there.
You do realise that it is possible to not soft lock multiple times in Butter Bridge 1?
Yes, if you get if you drop a power up off screen and go through transition, you can soft lock the game.
In an auto-scroller.
In an auto-scroller, and I may or may not have done that twice in a row in runs that were going to PB. Because there's no video evidence, I deny all... I just deny it, I didn't do it.
Yeah, I'll just tell you now, softlocks are not so fast.
Well, yeah, I know that.
Okay, so I could have picked up a flower in this level, and then that would let me do a sprite slot manipulation in the next level.
Happy birthday.
And
happy birthday.
thanks. That would let me. If I had that, I could basically.
So this level's called Groovy, and you can do something called Groovy Boss Kill here, where you, like Xander said, you do some sprite slot manipulations, and it spawns a boss. And killing that boss will end the level early, and in Groovy, I believe it might be 7 seconds.
It's about that.
Yeah.
It's really hard. It's one of the harder tricks in this game, boss kills. I could have done it in Cookie Mountain as well. Well, I couldn't, but basically you make it so that Yoshi has a sliding blue Koopa in his mouth while it isn't in his mouth. And then spit it out, he just disappears and comes out of Yoshi's mouth stunned, and then that stunned sprite will spawn a boss.
Now we're in
pretty
Mondo,
complicated.
which is a horrendous level because this water has a current. And Xander's actually doing okay. Xander has got flight, this is good.
This level is horrible to play through.
Because it lags so much.
Yeah. It's really hard to tell your flight speed because you can't tell what's the screen jitter because of flight speed and what's lag. Oh my god, what am I doing?
Not getting P-speed.
I'm just gonna wait this. That could have gone a lot worse.
That was quite gnarly. I was gonna... No, I'm not doing that. I'm not
Awesome.
This level's way cool.
This level's outrageous, I'll have you know.
Yeah, hurry up and just get funky. I actually genuinely did prepare something for this, I'm just not doing it.
So yeah, Special World, instead of having names like Star World 1, Donut Plains 4, they're called Gnarly, Tubular, Way Cool,
Awesome,
Groovy,
Mondo,
Outrageous, and then Funky. I was trying to do it in order.
You did it in order.
I did, yeah.
I helped you.
You did.
This is technically a co-op run now.
Is it?
No. It's now our last world of Special, where the game lies to you.
So yeah, I did a second spin jump there before taking off because when you jump with P-speed and a cape, it sets off a flight meter, and that's 80 frames. And if you are in the air when that 80 frames reaches 0, you get flight, and that's how that works. And if you do a small jump, and then try to take off, you get a much smaller jump.
To you now. The game is lying to Xander.
I am super player.
Allegedly.
They mistranslated that. The American
It's
and
correct.
PAL versions do say you are a super player, but it doesn't make the level longer, it just makes the coins further to the left. But yeah, this one says you are super player.
Did you just say furtherer?
No.
You did. You just said furtherer to the left.
Okay, so the only reason going to the left after special is faster is because you can fly. In terms of overworld time, it doesn't make a difference. but it's just the strats. If I went to the left at the start of the run instead of now, I would have to be going through here with P speed, which can be like a couple seconds slower over the level.
And also you wouldn't have cape. And this level without cape is a little bit annoying.
Well, yeah, if I had cape I'd be fine.
You have cape now. Look, shh, okay? I woke up earlier than you to get here. So we're at the second switch palace. If Xander doesn't get the ump here, the run is doubly invalid. Get the ump.
I'll try.
It's a one frame trick. You can do it.
Okay, my visual cues here for getting pipe fly are different on this CRT. If you, as I said, those 80 frames for your flight meter. Yump!
Yump!
If you enter a door or pipe while those 80 frames are counting down, they wait until the next side of the door to carry on counting down, so you can get flight through a door by doing a small jump and then trying to fly straight away in the next room. And you can do that through those tight corridors in switch palaces, but I'm not going to go for it because if you mess up it's going to be slower and it'll save frames as well.
We've got another donation for whenever you're available.
That'd be great for this level.
Cool. We've got another donation. This one is from Aidan. Now, Aidan is the guy sitting right next to me. He is the stream manager. He's been managing the whole thing, and he's been here all day. So can I just get some love in the chat for him while I read this out? He says, £10 might not be a massive amount, but this whole event was worth so much more to me. Can't get a train home with no dollar. Thank you to everyone for being here, and thanks to the staff and runners for being absolutely incredible. And then he puts a little heart emoji. Isn't that adorable?
No. I'm fine.
Okay, so this level's an auto-scroller that we have to do twice, sorry. But you get to do a bit of swag because of that. Wow.
Well, you can do. Basically, you can push on slopes. Slopes are broken. You can push sprites through them, and they just drop off the level. Now, please get this one. This one's cool.
So yeah, this guy's our friend, so we're just going to stick him in the wall up there.
So corners, slopes, everything like that in this game are quite broken.
Walls are just a recommendation.
Yep.
Look at him up there. Having fun.
You can do wall jumps. I think it's every 16 pixels you can jump off a wall. I did that in a run and didn't realise I did it. Swag. Don't die, please. So Xander's now going to go... While someone has their breakdown, I'll try and explain what Xander's doing. Xander's getting P speed so he can get pipe fly.
Oh, come on.
He lost his cape.
I'm just going to take a slight detour here and do the normal exit first, rather than trying to...
So he would have got the
get the
secret exit
secret.
first had he not lost cape. The secret exit is above the level there.
It's possible to get that without cape, you just grab the shell and throw it up, but it's going to be slower than the overall time loss. I hate those swoopers. They're just so close to where you want to fly.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're going to lose a, what? Couple of seconds?
Just that.
Literally that. It's not a big deal because you can get cape back in this level as long as you keep your power-ups. Buzzy Cradle? Buzzy Cradle. No. You can dupe those and put a Buzzy Beetle. Bye. Buzzy Beetle in them and he just rattles left and right. It's brilliant.
I'm going to stick him up there this time. He doesn't go up that side often.
No, he doesn't, does he? There we go.
And we can just get a cape here.
If you want to learn this category, the first thing I would say is don't learn this as a category. Learn 11 exit first. But if you're really insistent, like Xander and I were, learn where all the capes are, because it will save you.
Yeah, so this is, it's a big run. There's way easier categories to start out with in this game. We're just stupid.
Yep. We are. My first run was 3 hours 56, and most of that was blind.
Mine was 5:48, and most of that was blind. And I didn't get pipe fly again.
No.
Oh.
Basically, on the second platform, you have to run right to the edge on the left, and then spin at the last minute. And now we have the secret exit.
So that was 9 game seconds lost to optimal. A game second in this game is about not 3 quarters. It's about
2/3.
2/3 of a second.
Swag.
I just thought I'd show off that pipe fly there. Technically that saved a bit of time. And then I missed getting on the switch. But anyway, I just wanted to show off because I failed it where it's actually useful. If you jump with P speed just before the pipe, you can get flight straight out of it.
So now we're going for the secret exit here. You can't do this in a no cape category, so 9 to 5 exit no cape. It misses this exit.
Yeah, this is the only level in the game you can't do without a cape. And yeah, that's why the equivalent of this for no cape is 95 exit no cape. Technically you could get it with glitches, but those glitches are banned in that category.
I'm assuming that was all glitch you would do there.
Orb, clouds, there's a few chuck each you could do. I'm not going in there because that doesn't actually count as a level, that just has a Yoshi, some fire flowers and some capes.
So now we're going for the secret exit in here. That will take us to the Donut Secret House, which is one of the routes.
I hate Donut Secret House.
I prefer that route.
I mean just the level.
Oh yeah, the level is horrendous. That level hates everyone. So now we're into Dry Room. The reason we do this is because it doubles Mario's swim speed and saves a little bit of time.
I don't know why I grabbed the P-switch there, I should have hit
I'm
it.
now very confused as to why Xander grabbed that.
I didn't want to throw it!
He's lucky he didn't throw that into a pit.
I wanted to drop that down.
So he was supposed to bounce off it and keep swimming with the shell, but I think he forgot what exit he was going for, which can happen in this run.
It's not that, it's just that I used to go safe with it and it's muscle memory.
Nice, but your boo rings are spoiled.
Yeah, because I had to go back for cape earlier, my boo rings are really messed up.
So I don't think a left scroll can save you now.
I'm going to try.
Try, but...
So a left scroll here can make it spawn easier, and if you went through that room slower, then it
Nice,
can.
actually, yeah.
That actually helped. It makes it move like spawn earlier. It just means that my visual cues are messed up for when to fall. It worked, but it was sketchy.
So now we're going to the boo fight. So we have Big Boo in here, not the one from Orange is the New Black. We can kill Big Boo with these blocks.
Yeah, so Big Boo moves in the same pattern every time, so you always know where he's going to be. And he has no hitbox. You can jump straight through him and you won't get hit. And when I say no hitbox, I mean literally no hitbox. He can't hit. Why was I wanting to split there? I don't even usually split there.
Have you run in of an exit?
Yeah, not often.
That's why. I also feel the compulsion to split there.
It's just the boss fanfare.
So we're going back in so we can go into Donut Secret 2. I may do this strat that you've done. I do it differently to you here.
Do you just do the normal dive bomb?
Yeah.
I used to do that, but this is a bit better. Also, doors, come on.
So we had better boo rings this time round. Are you going for swag, or are you just going to be safe?
I'm going casual, apparently.
Oh, yeah. Nice. That always scares me when runners do that because you're technically dropping below the level.
So yeah, this segment is technically the easiest one. It's also the segment in the run that I'm the worst at.
You know what can solve that? More practice.
So yeah, this segment between Special World and Ludwig's Castle is, as I said, this is where most of the flyovers and auto-scrollers are. So in theory it's the easiest segment. It's also the place I lose the most time.
You saved that though. Kind of. There we go.
Whatever. I'm also very critical of myself, so if I'm saying that everything's awful, it might not be as bad as I'm saying. Just gonna say, I'm not god awful at this game, I promise. I do know how to speedrun it.
Well, Xander has a PB of 1:29:39.
39. So 1:29:39.
Which is what, 7 minutes and 2 seconds slower than world record, which is 1:22:41.
Yep. We have really good ways of naming things in this
Red
game.
block thing. Missed red block.
Okay, so I could have got flight off those red blocks, and we call that strat red block thing. It's the only strat that involves red blocks, so say red block thing, you know what we're talking about.
So here's in this next level there's 2 exits, and both of them use a, what's the thing called again?
Gold tape.
Cooper to fly up the level.
Whoa! My flight meter was just about still active then, so I got a little extra jump up when I reached Hapte. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back and do basically the same thing again,
But
except
go higher up.
yeah.
So this strat is pretty consistent and hella fun to do.
Go away, go away!
Nice. So you can get up there. Those bean sprouts are very badly programmed. Sometimes they're on screen but not active, so you can be jumping up and just not landing on them, even though you're above them.
So their hitbox is just above where you actually see them, and that means that if you can see it at the very top of the level, their hitbox actually wraps around to the very bottom of the level. Because, you know, this game's
Broken.
very well programmed, in my opinion.
I reckon they gave it to like an office temp with a bad attitude. I think that's what they did. They're just like, here, make a game.
I'm pretty sure I have fast fly here. Most levels that you just fly over start with the same game time. So not all levels do start with the same one, and most of the ones you fly over do start with the same, and they're about the same length. So if you get a 63 in like that,
Nice.
it means you had fast fly from near the start of the level. And we use the game time as a rough estimate as to how good you did a level. When you go through a pipe or door, it resets to the start of that game second, and as I said, game seconds aren't exactly seconds. So it's not exactly accurate, but it's a rough estimate. I've got 48 speed there. Still 48 speed. Okay, that's 49. I'm just gonna leave it.
Yeah, just leave it.
I lied, I didn't leave it.
So now we're going into the first fort with a boss called Resnor. And
Or
there's 4
Bui
of them.
Bui in Japanese.
There's 4 of them, and I think they're RNG based the way they fire.
Yeah.
And you can either get nice, calm, collected Resnors, or you can get a Resnors that fire 4 fireballs at you. Interesting fact, the Resnor fireballs are massive, but their hitbox is the same as Mario's fire, so you can jump through them without actually getting hit.
And then sometimes they can be the other side of the screen and hit you because this game's very well programmed, in my opinion. How many times have I said that now?
Plenty of times that I think Nintendo have got the point.
So these fish bones, when I think it's when they blink is based on RNG. So like, there's a lot of things that tick the RNG in this level. So
Xander going for fast Resnor here.
I'm just gonna wimp out on the last one. So yeah, when they shoot fireballs is based on RNG, and the RNG resets at the start of every level. So some stuff is going to be consistent and some stuff isn't. Resnor isn't, although usually you'll have, because you're going to be doing similar movement throughout the levels, Resnor, you can usually tell like this, you know, the one in this fort is going to be aggressive or this one's going to be calm.
Don't softlock, dude.
I'm not you.
This is the worst level to die on in the game.
Yeah,
it
it's
takes
like
1 minute 53 to complete it, and if you die at the end, that's a 4 minute time loss. Yeah. Xander's being a little bit risky here.
I'm just flying, letting the auto-scroller push me.
Yeah, until you miss a cape pump and drop.
Or bounce off him.
You can bounce off him. Right. You're scaring me now. You've got away with that for too long.
So how I duplicated a key to the right earlier to get wings. If you duplicate a 1-up block to the side, it can give you a vine. And so, you know, why not just swag out in a level if there's nothing else to do? There's also a cape down here, but I don't need it.
No. Vine swag. Let's see, vine swag.
If this guy stops spinning, I will.
Didn't get it.
Oh well.
If it wasn't an auto scroller, I'm sure Xander would have got that. I have confidence in his skills.
So the other day I was on a run, and after all this, I just wasn't paying attention, so I jumped like there and just fell down into that pit and died.
That is the worst place to die in that level.
So now the run gets interesting again. That split, that's like, well, I say now, it's in the next level. This is like the calm before the storm, because Forest of Illusion is, it can be pretty tricky. So where I tried to do a Yoshi clip in Vanilla Dome 2 earlier, I'll be doing that in Forest of Illusion 2, and I will get that one. That one has a much better visual cue, and
it's easy to manipulate your subpixel,
yeah,
which Xander would explain to you.
It is subpixel dependent. If you manipulate your subpixel perfectly, you're on a 4-frame frame rule, and it's basically a 1 in 4 chance you'll just get knocked out, even if you did everything perfectly. And that's based on the frame that you dismount Yoshi.
So we have a new donation whenever you guys are ready for one.
That's fine.
So this is from Ozota, who's in the room. He asks, so Xander, how well programmed is this game? £5 donation.
It's very well programmed. Oh.
Just do no.
I want it. I want it.
Xander's taking a big risk here because he may not get to the end. If he gets to the...
Oh crap, I already hit the thing, didn't I?
You did.
Ah.
You're gonna die. Why did you... Oh! That was... He still had active invincibility frames there, so that was luck more than anything. But that is not how you do that room.
I thought I hadn't hit the on switch yet. I thought.
That's why I said you just run. So Xander now has to try and get cycle skip, so he has to hit Ludwig before Ludwig touches the ground. And by doing so he saves about 14 seconds.
Yeah. It's also a 14-second time loss to not have fire here, because you have to wait for him to go around in his shell. I'm going to be going back for a cape. There's one in Better Bridge 2 right at the start, but I could do FLI1.
Just go get cape. Go get cape.
Yeah, I'm going to go get cape. Be safe. This next level, not the one I'm going to go into now for cape, but Forest of Illusion 1. You can do Yoshi wings there as well, but they're hard and they save about 7 seconds, I think, so I'm not going to bother. I say I'm not going to bother, the real reason is I don't know them.
And they're really easy to mess up.
Yeah.
You've got momentum of your P shell to that P shell.
They're not, they're luck based as well.
Yeah.
So sometimes duplicating the blocks isn't even just getting that 2-frame trick, it's also luck based, which makes the game a lot harder than people realise. So yeah,
Don't spin jump on that.
The guys with the flashing capes, you can get a cape out of.
So Xander's now entering Forest 1, where he will get a Yoshi, and if all goes well, he'll grab a blue shell and fly through the rest of the level with some P speed.
You think I'll have P speed?
I hope you have P speed.
Get Yoshi! Okay. That's fine. Because I was slow getting on Yoshi there, I just made getting between those Goombas free. Not that you should just go slow. Don't do what I'm doing. I can just let go of the D-pad here, it'll lock his speed, and there's a chance that I lock at a high value and save frames again. But there's also a chance I lose slower value and lose some time.
So now we're going into Forest of Illusion 2, which we were talking about a moment ago, where you can manipulate your subpixel to allow you to get a good clip through the level.
Yeah, the best it'll ever be is a 75% chance to get through the wall.
So dismounts Yoshi to reset his subpixel.
So I did that perfectly then, I just pressed it on the one frame that was wrong. Come on. Okay, that was my fault not getting in that time.
So the visual cue here is to get...
Oh, come on. This is luck based, this isn't me.
So it is...
That was me.
That was you. that time that was definitely you. So his visual cue is when Mario's hat just lines up with the line. Now his subpixel's completely messed up.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to dismount and remount to reset his subpixel.
I already did that, so I can't do it here.
There we go.
I've just got to keep trying now.
It might be quicker for you to swim through the level, dude.
It would have been at this point, but...
We need to show this off. This is cool, this trick. There we go.
Okay.
We're through now. After yep. It's not actually as hard as Xander made it look. It's just he was really unlucky there. Sometimes the game just decides it hates you.
And again, you move faster when you're holding an item. That runs out. The task can keep that longer by throwing it on a perfect frame or something like that, but no. So this is the last Switch Palace. And it was in this Switch Palace that I found out something very interesting.
What did you find out, Xander?
I know, let's see if we can see it again.
Does it have something to do with Mario having 2 feet?
Oh yeah, it's 2 feet!
What did you mean to say?
That's kind of an inside joke. I just blurted out Mario has 2 feet in a run once. I thought he had 2 feet coming out of the same leg. Which that's astonishing, but then I realised I was wrong. So,
the way he said it though, he sounded so high, I questioned whether he had drugs, because I was like, whoa! Mario has 2 feet! There is a clip on his Twitch channel, XanderWebb479, so go and find it. It's a brilliant clip. So now Xander's going for the secret exit in this level.
Spitting out that shell just saves a bit of time in lag. And that's something we like doing as well, is when you have a key in Yoshi's mouth to finish the level, you can spit the key out and duck. So, why not?
So if Xander had a second cape, he could do something called Forest Ghost House clip here, if he had learned it. Basically, you take damage and drop your cape from your item box, and if you grab that cape at the right moment, you can clip through the ceiling, and it saves an amount of time that I can't remember despite writing it down.
It's about 20-ish seconds. Yeah. It's really hard, and up until, well, the current TAS doesn't do that. It does a slower version of it. It was only fairly recently that was discovered, and it's still not RTA viable, really. I mean, you can do it, but it's not worth putting in a run.
Most top level runners will do it in runs that are dying, because why not? If your run's already dead, then it's fine to go for it, but on a run like this, I wouldn't go for it.
Yeah, this one's okay. I've had some slip-ups.
Well, you haven't died yet, so... Oh wait, did you? I can't remember. Yes, you have died. You died in BD3.
Yeah.
It's a good run for you. 1 death.
Okay, there we go.
So that's how it should be done.
Most of the time you'll get through there first try.
Yeah.
The only reason I didn't that time was because I failed and didn't get in. But I manipulated my subject. First frame block grab. Say that fast.
I was about to, but I'm not going to.
So yeah, if the screen doesn't stop scrolling, you know, that you grabbed out on the first frame, and so Mario doesn't stop moving.
So now we're going for normal exit.
Should probably go back into the level. Oh crap.
Xander!
Look at Blurb sitting there. Can you sit in water? I don't know.
You can. Of course you can. Just sink to the bottom of the pool and just sit there.
Yeah, Mario has like a massive lungs.
Yeah, he can't drown, unlike Sonic, which makes Sonic the superior underwater level game.
I think that makes Mario better, doesn't it?
Why?
Because he has
it makes the
such
game
a good...
easier. Sonic speedruns are harder, which is why I haven't learned them. This game is easy to learn to speedrun.
Yeah, this is something we say a lot. This game is easy to learn, hard to master.
Oh yes.
And if anyone wants to start learning to speedrun this game, the community is really helpful and really welcoming. You can join the Discord at discord.me/smw. And there's a channel in there for asking any questions. We have a wiki as well at smwspeedruns.com. There's so much. This is one of the most like what's the word? This is one of the most well-documented games there is.
There's a lot of resources. A runner called Dots Are Cool has a practice cart for it. That's dotsarecool.com. That's what everyone uses to learn the game. It's perfect because you can just do levels a million times, over and over again. He also has ROM hacks on his site.
Yeah, the reason this category isn't called 100%, if anyone's wondering, is because
the game
some people argue
percentages. That's
well,
why.
yeah, the game doesn't keep track of percentages, but there's a category called Lunar Dragon where you collect all the dragon coins and all the moons. But if you the game doesn't actually keep track of that. If you enter a level again, they won't be there. But if you turn it off and back on again, they'll be there again. It doesn't keep track of that, and you don't get anything extra for doing it. And you can also glitch in extra exits, which is kind of a meme category, but I find it pretty interesting.
Much like your 22-star category is a meme category.
There's yeah, you can glitch in extra exits. I think we're up to A8 now, which is 108 exits. These are all the intended ones in this category though. So that's why we don't call it 100%. There's also a credit swap, which is why we don't call the shortest route to Bowser any percent. It's just much easier to call them by the number of exits you do. So we have 11 exit, 96 exit. There's the credit swap is 0 exit. But this is by far the most fun category in my opinion. It's also one of the most competitive categories. But 11 exit
I'd argue
would be
11
a good one
exit's more
too.
competitive in terms of the number of people that run it.
Yeah, the 11 exit's a very good starting category for this game. It's also very well optimized.
96 is currently not actually optimized. I think where's the optimal time on TAS now? 121 or 119?
The TAS, I can't remember if it's a 114 or a 117. But Dode did a Human Theory TAS, and that was like a 121 something I think, and that can be improved still.
So some of the top level runners that have world record or a 122 time have some of bests that are like 121.
Yeah, so like a couple of years ago, people, they'd be joking saying, is this run going to be the 123? And now the top 4 players have 122s.
And we think 121 might happen by the end of this year. If people... come on, the 122 happened in the last year. Don't look at me like that, come on. Don't look at me with that look of derision. The same look of derision people looked at each other when they said, oh, 122 will happen this year. It happened. They've only got to save like 42 seconds. Doable.
I'm taking this Resnor slow. He's known for being pretty aggressive. This is one of the more aggressive ones, so I just want to take it safe instead of having to do that auto-scroller room again.
I was going to say I think we're done with the auto-scrollers, but I don't think we are.
There's some levels that are basically auto-scrollers that are like flyovers. And like Valley of Bowser 2, but I think that is the last auto-scroller, like actual auto-scroller.
I'm trying to think. I'm actually mentally visualizing every level up until the end of the run to see where the auto-scrollers are. Don't think there is anymore.
Yeah, auto-scrollers are actually a sprite that just makes the screen scroll. And we're almost certain it's impossible to despawn an auto-scroller. It's just that technically it could maybe be possible, which would obviously make the run a lot faster. It's just that because the auto-scroller sprite is there from the very start of the level, we'd have to find a new glitch or something to be able to do it. And as I said, this is one of the most well-documented games, so it's unlikely.
Xander needs to go for secret exit here. The reason why I'm reminding him is because a lot of runners get a little bit tired this far into the run and just on autopilot fly into the normal exit, and that just wastes a lot of time. So drop down this pipe and you break the blocks and you get your secret exit.
Only broke one block. It can be very easy to just bounce all over those blocks and break all of them.
So now we're going for a really fun strat called Roy Fly. If Xander does this right, it's awesome, but there's a good chance that he could hit a Podobo with a mistimed cape pump and die. Nice.
And this is what I mean when I say that flying over every level isn't exactly as trivial as it sounds. Oh.
This is why we don't do that.
I want that cape.
You need that cape. Don't worry, Xander knows what he's doing. I have faith in him. So he's lost. He's lost a little bit. He lost his. Did you have fire? I can't remember. But he would have.
At some point.
He would have had fire and would have just 2 fireballs and a jump, and that would have killed Roy. But that cost you about 12.
In Roy it's not as much. It's some people say it's like 4 seconds, but I can't see how it's only 4.
I think it is more than that. So now we're into Chocolate Island. The game makes me hungry when I'm playing it because you have Vanilla Dome, tasty. Donut Plains, oh, I could do donuts. Chocolate Island, could you imagine an island made of chocolate?
We're entering the dangerous but tasty Chocolate Island.
Indeed. Dangerous for your health.
So if you're wondering why I'm not normal flying here, it's because you can get the pipe flight that I've talked about out of that cannon, and when you're shooting out of a cannon it gives you 64 speed, which is a lot faster than the 51 of normal fast fly, so that can save a second there. And if you mess it up it loses like 7 seconds or something because the pipe transitions, but I got it fine. So
oh, we're entering a level I hate because of fishing booth. Are you going for Suicide Door?
no.
So you'll see, well you won't see, but we'll explain Suicide Door. Basically you fly over this level and as you can see at the bottom of the level the hole moves left and right across the screen, and Suicide Door is basically you drop down, you hit the pipe above the level.
Yeah, so they placed a pipe above the level there to try and stop you flying through it.
The Suicide Door would basically be Xander crashing into the ground. And
Get in the thing!
as the hole in the ground is like a tile away, and the reason why it's Suicide Door is if you miss that door transition you fall straight into the hole.
And it's even shorter than the normal thing. As I said earlier, like just running with max speed and getting into a door is a 3-frame trick. If you're coming out of flight, it can be like frame perfect. And I think Suicide Door there, because the hole is moving towards you, I think that is frame perfect.
Yeah.
And if you miss it, you die. So that'd be stupid to go for, to be honest.
Unless you're a top level runner. Sorry dude.
I mean, in a marathon.
Yeah, in the marathon you wouldn't do it. So Xander is going for the secret exit here. This level based on the timer and the number of coins and other variables, determines what sub-level you get. So if you go through really quickly, you get the secret exit, and if you want the normal exit, you go through sub 250 clock time.
Yeah, 249 is the first one that'll get you the normal exit.
Yeah.
And as I said earlier, like, we're really good at naming strats in this game, and someone called Steven made a strat for the beginning of this room that makes it way more consistent, so we call it the Steven strat. And it's that there. It's like a few frames slower,
Xander
maybe.
clipped into the corner there.
But it's like 100% consistent.
So here, is this cool quicker? Are you doing the quick strat? Or are you just sliding on your butt?
I don't know. There's probably some strat in this level. I'm just sliding down these things.
Big Smash Bros. Thomas, I thought, come and see what's going on.
So Xander's going to try and get P speed by running off the ledge and then flying here.
That's the thing worth mentioning as well. In like Super Mario Bros. 1, running off ledges doesn't matter, but in this game, if you run off a ledge, you do lose speed. So you want to jump off. There, though, it was worth it to be able to get P speed faster and be able to fly. Remember to hold right. I put the controller down. Okay, now I'm going to go back to the rest of Chocolate Island. And I think we're just going to play around a little bit.
Yeah.
Just get some coins.
So if you get 21 coins in the first room, I'm going to call it a room even though it's outside, you can get a cape in the next level. Next room, sorry.
21 or more rooms brings you to coins in that room, brings you to this room. There's a text box at the start that explains all that. And getting all the dragon coins also brings you to the right third room. But I also need to wait until 249 at least.
So Xander's going for pipe fly here.
And that'll bring us here.
And if you carry that through the gold tape, the P block through the gold tape, you could spawn another cape.
I already have
Yeah,
another
but
cape,
he already
so
has a
it gives
cape,
me
so there's no
one-up.
point in doing it. But it is possible to enter Chocolate 2
Yeah.
with no capes and leave with 2 capes. So this is the other level where the secret exit is another gold tape. So Xander's going for the first gold tape, which is a troll gold tape, and you'll see why when he finishes the level. And he'll re-enter the level to go for the secret exit.
I very nearly brushed against one of those pipes, but I managed to fly. I managed to keep flight over it anyway. Losing flight in this level can be really time costly.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that didn't happen.
Just don't do it. Don't lose. See, this is why this level trolls you, because you find an exit and it just sends you back into it. So now Xander has to drop down a lot lower and fly under that gold tape to find the secret exit.
I'm just going to fly over it.
Oh, you can fly over it too, can't you? I forgot.
Yeah, so some levels in this game you can fly over the gold tape, which I don't think is intended. For this one it is, for sure. But like if the screen can scroll up or something like that, you can fly over the gold tape and you'll just get stuck. Like that would happen in just a normal level, and then the level would end and you'd have to go back to it. Yeah, down there's the secret exit and you have to get that to continue.
So now going to Choco Fort, and
This level's notorious for being one of the harder levels in the game.
strat at in the first room to get through the pencils is not trivial, and it is very difficult to learn. Nice.
I did get caught on one of those pencils there for a bit, so that's gonna line up
Good
like
thing
that.
about
But
cave-
that was okay.
It was fine.
I
So
lost
with cape, you have, if you're in flight and you get hit by an enemy sprite or those pencils, you have invincibility frames where you transition out of flight, so you don't lose your cape. But you have to be in flight for that. These were quite nice Resnors today.
Yeah, Chocolate Island. I'm surprised that one even shot one fireball. Chocolate Island Resnor is usually really calm. Yeah, that was a decent chocolate fort.
So I like the strat in this level. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, this level's pretty unique.
Yeah.
Diagonal.
And Xander lost the P speed there, so he won't be able to. He might. No.
I'm not actually sure what happened there. I'm not sure why I lost P speed.
So he would have gone into flight and then ground pound to get rid of those moles, or one of them at least. But he lost P speed, so he couldn't get flight to do the ground pound.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure what happened. Also, if you jump on the frame you land in this game, it's what we call a thirsty, and you get a much shorter jump, and that can screw you over in a lot of places. Like if you're coming out of a flight or something and you jump on the frame you land, you get a much shorter jump. I'm not entirely sure why, but you know,
So
this game is really well programmed.
So Xander has a Yoshi for later on, for when he goes into. You got flight.
You can do that.
I know you can do that, but that's not easy to do.
Yeah, if you run on those platforms right, you can get flights at the end of there. I've gotten a lot better at it recently.
So he has Yoshi for Sunken Ghost Ship because you can use the Yoshi for deboosting through one of the Boo Rings, and then in Valley of Bowser you use Yoshi for going into Yoshi Heaven and doing Valley of Bowser 1 quickly. So Xander went through a crusher skip there. And hopefully he'll keep both his capes, because the next room, Wendy Room 2, has the swaggest of swag strats in the entire game. Just watch this, Xander, don't let the viewers down. Such swag. That's so beautiful. That was beautifully done.
That was like a first frame door entry there as well.
You've got quite a nice Wendy today. I think she loves you.
I'm gonna kill her.
That usually happens about 10 years into marriage, so you know.
Laura, watch out.
No, it's me that's going to get killed, dude. Come on. If one day I'm not streaming, just realise I've been killed.
I love these castle animations, just wiping away the castle. My favourite is Castle 4 where it just blasts off and the hill gets a little plaster on it.
I feel sorry for the hill there because he gets an owie and there's no one there to kiss him better. So now we're into the last leg of the game. I mean, I'm looking at the cart, it doesn't have legs, but we're in the last bit. What's his time currently?
1:17:30.
Alright. Looking at...
That's actually okay.
I'm trying to figure out how long it will take.
I'm trying not to. So yeah, I'm going to try and deboost through... Like, I'm going to take damage intentionally here, and that lines you up really well. If you make the Boo Cloud despawn at the same time as one of the Boo Rings spawns, it just despawns the Boo Ring, and that worked really well.
That was pretty
There's
good.
two visual cues for that. The first one looked okay, the second one's much more reliable. Yeah,
you won't
so
need to
these
scroll
two
here.
Boo Rings that I'm going between now, if they're over the last block of that little corridor, you know that you got the despawn. So usually where I'm swimming now above these spikes, there'd be a Boo Ring, like this one. And this one was in a really nice position
really
as well.
nice position for you. So
You can despawn both, but then the Boo Cloud stays and it makes your life much more difficult.
So Zan's going to go for some... getting rid of some sprites to reduce lag here, so these are lag reduction strats. I'm not convinced people actually know what lag reduction...
Yeah, everyone does something
there's-
different here.
Every runner does it differently. Just kill sprites until it doesn't lag is the way I learned it. You were way late, my dude.
You can't say it early. Gotta build up the tension.
There's been points in this run where the tension was a bit too high. Where I've looked and gone, Xander, why?
Okay, so you can get screwed over by your flight meter there as well. Yoshi can have a much smaller jump if you do one of them too late. And that Mega Mole can just run right into you.
Ooh, that was very late there. I really thought you were going to get hit just then.
Yeah, it's fine.
This is fine. I still think this run can sub 130. Easily.
I don't want to think about it.
Just don't. I'll think about the times. So it was 117 you said at the
We're
time.
at 19. Well, we're about to hit 120.
120 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, this can still...
Yeah.
I think this can still PB.
Hang on. 6 minutes to Larry plus... Yeah, you can still PB. So here we're going to go and get Yoshi Wings and send Yoshi to Yoshi Heaven. But we're going to keep Yoshi here. You need
There's some that are just given to you in the game. That and Cheesebridge area, I think, are the only ones.
Yes. I believe they're the only ones.
You can go for a door fly here, but it's risky and doesn't save a lot of time, so I'm not going to bother going for it.
It is cool though.
It is cool, but I've already shown off how that works.
Yeah. So now we're going for something called Sexy Slide.
Oh yeah, we stole that name from SMB3. They have a strat called Sexy Slide, and
right, you're now thumbing in a softie. That's what you're doing. That's genuinely what it's called.
You can just slide through there. And as Agathor said, we stole the name from SMB3, Sexy Slide. They have a strat where you slide through a one tile gap, and they call it that. So we're like, hey, that works for us.
Well, you said that, I didn't. So
I think it was Mr. Cab that brought that through.
nice. Door fly
Again, that
again.
might like save what, a frame or something, but that's easy. So
now we're going into a level called Vob 3 with some precise, I say precise jumps. You can do it any way you like, but you've got to jump on select platforms to keep P speed and flight.
yeah, so if there's too many sprites on screen, some just won't spawn because this game is really well programmed. And so I run on specific ones so that I know which platforms are going to be there. There's nothing worse than if you like jump on the wrong platform and then the one you want to be on just doesn't spawn.
I haven't had that happen to me yet in a run.
Oh crap. I wanted the one up. Yeah. I've messed up this level a lot recently. It's not really that hard, but you know, I just do bad at the easy levels because who practices that?
Yeah. That's just made SMW really intense. So Xander's going to try and keep his Yoshi to get the secret exit. If he's going to drop down here, and by holding up, he can eat that piece of mud. I think it's or a boulder.
It's a boulder, isn't it? Yeah.
He's digging out of the ground. It's mud. Xander's done that beautifully.
Going under that there instead of over it just saves some time and lag. And again, you can spit out a key and duck.
Xander's on quite a good pace. I'm hoping he PBs and gets a 128.
We'll see.
Yeah, get in, Xander. So Xander will abandon Yoshi. Nice.
I
That
wasn't
wasn't-
sure where I was there.
That was not the way to do that, but you saved it. So he'll abandon Yoshi because he doesn't need him anymore. Poor Yoshi. Tiny little violin. Yeah,
Yoshi's a means to an end, let's be honest.
yeah, he is.
Use him for wings, use him for glitches, and that's it.
Nice. So now we're going into Larry's castle, where Xander will do a strat called Larry Fly.
Who calls it that? It's just The strat.
The strat. Oh, we're gonna do the strat. It's Larry Fly. It's Larry Fly. And there's a lot of spiked maces that fly at you, that spin round and round. They can ruin your day if you hit them. And he's done that fine. He's fine. He'll do a little scroll here to keep Magic Cooper behind him.
I believe that's actually to manipulate the dry bones and the pencils.
Really? I thought to keep Magic Cooper behind.
This is one of the level. Oh, come on.
Don't.
Magic Cooper can really screw you over here, so it's not. Whatever.
Don't. Keep cape, keep cape. Like, my heart is in my throat right now, I'm so nervous for Xander.
Nah, I'm fine.
Nice. Come on, one more hit, yes.
I was getting a little bit scared as you went towards the end.
Alright, if you died there, I would have to slap you on stream.
Although, if the whistle does go and then you die, the overall music won't start.
Yeah.
For some reason, there's a weird glitch. The more you know.
You guys are going to call time, yeah?
Yeah. We've got a couple levels before then anyway.
So time is basically when Peach appears out of Bowser's. But we'll say time.
Out of Bowser's.
Well, see now. Out of his clown
Clown car.
And it's not even a car, it's like an upside down helicopter.
It's called the clown car.
Yeah, but it's an upside down helicopter. I don't understand how it flies. It defies the laws of physics. The propeller is underneath.
Well, where would he go?
You should have an Apache helicopter with guns. That would be more efficient at killing Mario. Throwing bowling balls at him is, yeah. If you want to be a super villain, you want hardware, like military hardware.
So there is a strat I could have done there. It's 2 frames, and you basically clip into this yellow sandbar. It's not worth going for in a marathon, I don't think. It saves about 12 seconds, and it's one of the more difficult strats. Because if you lose it, if you miss it, you can die. Oh my god!
Do you want some water?
I'm alright.
It's life-giving. I'll just leave it there for you. So the secret exit is coming up. Xander will just fly over the top of this part of the level. Please don't drop the key in the pit.
I've never done that.
Have you never done that?
No.
Okay. You can throw this key. Oh! Ho, 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 ho.
I didn't even think I pressed that button.
We're applauding a mistake.
So a scroll can get you through there. You can get through without scrolling, but frame ruled.
He got frame ruled there. So depending on which frame Mario's cape is facing when you hit an enemy,
I disagree.
Xander,
I disagree.
yeah, that's one way of doing the level.
It's not the right way.
So you can't now do cape kill with Bowser, which would have saved you 12 seconds. Are you going back for cape, or are you just going to... No, alright.
On the Japanese version, you can't re-enter forts and castles.
Should have waited, dude. Oh, that was unlucky. And a mistake, but unlucky. Don't worry, don't tilt. You've got this, dude.
I'm good.
You're good. So this is one good thing. You do get cape back here.
I'd rather have just beat the level.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, but nerves marathon.
Okay, you're supposed to do a left right there so you don't get frame ruled. So that was my bad.
You can clip there or fall into those spikes, but Xander didn't, so yay Xander. So now Xander's doing the fast strat here.
You can do a crusher skip here, but if you miss it you can die, so I'm not going to. I think I've died enough as it is.
Some runners here, the timing here is quite tight, so some runners like myself will go jump, jump, jump to just get the timing. That was close. So that was a good Reznor fight, kind Reznors as well. So now we're going into the Bowser fight through Bowser's back door.
Phrasing.
Well, yeah. So now he's got cape, he can take 12 seconds off the fight time.
Yeah, so an optimal cape kill is, I think...
1 minute 54.
1 minute 54. Usually people would get a 1 minute 55 Bowser fight. I'm probably going to be a bit over 2 minutes with it. What?
Okay.
That was either a thirsty, which I don't think it was, or flight meter.
I would say it was probably flight meter.
Yeah.
So Xander's doing some swag here because nothing happens for about 20 seconds. So Xander's going to wait for Bowser to pass through the third time before he starts running, and he'll jump there. And then he'll hit one of the Mecha Koopas and then...
Oh.
Okay.
I guess I'm doing no cape Bowser.
Okay, I guess you are. Nice. That sprite's gone off the left now.
Yeah.
So yeah, if he had kept one of the Mecha Koopas there, he could have done ball skip. So in the second phase of the Bowser fight, Bowser drops massive bowling balls. And if you hit Bowser at the right time, you can skip one of the ball transitions.
I'm going to take this for safety. It's about a second. So yeah, if Bowser throws if a Mecha Koopa goes off the left side of the level, it's gonzo. If it goes off the right, it'll actually walk back on. And yeah, so you see he stops before dropping a bowling ball. If I still had a Mecha Koopa from the last phase, I'd be able to hit him when he stops for this one, and it would skip him doing that. I also won't be able to do bounce skip. If you hit him in the last phase, he only bounces 5 times instead of 8, I think it is.
Yeah. So you need to... Nice.
Didn't get 4 balls.
Well, yeah, easy as that. I'm guessing that's just, shouting at me for getting 4 balls every time I mess up Bowser fight.
Oh no, I do it all the time as well.
Yeah.
I'm bad at Bowser. It's actually easy, but...
It's the easiest... I really thought you hit that then.
Yeah, good. And if you're spinning, you can land on fire, by the way. Life tip. Life hack.
So if Xander had a Mecha Koopa, he could have hit Bowser just after the fireball disappeared. And it would have just, like you said, reduced the number of bounces Bowser does.
Okay, so time's coming up soon. After this hit, Peach will appear. It's when Peach appears.
Right.
Okay, and... Time.
Time.
1:31:36.
Okay. I'll take that.
Are we verifying that we got 96 exits? I know we got 96 exits.
I'm scared too.
Oh, we've got it. I know we've got it.
Well done with the run. How do you feel about how it went?
It's 96. That's better than my average. Couple minutes off my PB, but I'll take that. Sure.
Well done either way. I'll just wrap this portion of the stream up before I get into the end here. We did get a donation in that last fight from Nalid16. They say £1 for each animal that needs to die. Good luck on the run, Feral. So I presume that's for the Super Metroid run that is coming up. On that note, I will say that we're running a poll in the chat at the moment, which is, do you want the animals to live, or do you want them to die? Comment your answer, and whichever gets the most will be the winner. With that said, we're going to switch to our intermission transition, and we'll be back at around 8 PM BST, so make sure to be back for the next run.
It's really good, dude. Should be proud of that run. One day.